Hello, friends. Good evening, everyone. And I hope you have revised all the formulas. And today we shall start problem solving. And I was very, very, very excited to start this revision class today because after watching this video, you will feel that okay, uh, we understood this chapter overall. And this video I think this video will fulfill your expectations from my side. So let us start, and please give me a feedback through your through the WhatsApp or comment box. Let me know did I reach your expectations or not. So let us get started, and let us revise all the formulas once, and then we shall do the problem solving. And I hope this will reach your heart and your brain also, and everyone will understand this besides the first two videos. Okay, chalo, let's get started. We are first with the current ratio. Current ratio is equals to current assets divided by current liabilities. Standard ratio is 2 is to 1. You might get a question whether we have to remember standard ratio like it is 2 is to 1, whether it is mandatory to remember it or not. It is mandatory because if the question asks you to comment upon the current ratio of the company, then you should know what is the ideal ratio. Like for suppose they have given you some information in the question, and you have calculated current ratio, and then you got the ratio as 3 is to 1. Then the ideal ratio is 2 is to 1, but you got the ratio as 3 is to 1. Then it is more than the ideal ratio, means the company has good sound cash amount, good amount of cash for carrying out its operating expenses. Like that, you have to provide a comment if the question specifies you to provide a comment in your answer based upon the ratio you calculated. So if you can remember, it will be much fine. Uh, the current ratio will be current assets divided by current liabilities, and quick ratio will be quick assets or liquid assets divided by current liabilities, which is equals to 1 is to 1. Ideal ratio is 1 is to 1, and quick or liquid assets are current assets minus stock minus prepaid expenses. Absolute liquid ratio is absolute liquid assets divided by current liabilities. The ideal ratio is 5 to 1, and the absolute liquid assets are cash, bank, and marketable securities. And the working capital, how we can calculate working capital. Working capital is equals to current assets minus current liabilities. If they ask you what are the net assets, don't get confused. It is just the working capital. Subtract current assets minus current liabilities. Okay, we shall continue. And then we have debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio, as previously said, US approach will take into consideration the owners funds and outsiders funds. This is not much relevant. Just give a reading. Long-term debts divided by shareholders funds plus long-term loans. The ideal ratio is 1 is to 2. Means owners funds will be, if owners funds are 1, outsiders liabilities will be 2, which means double. UK approach, this is important. UK approach is equals to long-term debts divided by shareholders funds. Means owners funds should be equal to the outsiders funds. Ideal ratio is 1 is to 1. And capital reserve to capital ratio is equals to reserve by capital, which means the amount of reserve we created out of our capital. And then it is capital gearing ratio, which means we have to repay the dividend or actual amount of loan or preference shares out of our own funds. Capital gearing ratio is equals to long-term loans plus preference share capital divided by equity capital plus reserves. Proprietary ratio is equals to net fixed assets divided by shareholders funds or shareholders funds divided by total assets. Proprietary ratio means proprietary funds. See here, we have shareholders funds. Shareholders funds means the owners funds. So how much funds we are using towards our fixed assets constitutes the proprietary ratio. Okay. And next we have working capital ratio. Working capital ratio is shareholders funds, and solvency ratio is equals to total liabilities divided by total assets. And here comes the turnover ratio. Okay, creditors turnover ratio means the person to whom I should pay money. నేను అప్పు తెచ్చుకున్నాను, నేను పే చేయాలి. He is my creditor. So creditors turnover ratio is equals to credit purchases divided by average creditors or closing creditors. Average creditors is equals to opening creditors plus closing creditors divided by 2. And creditors turnover ratio means what? I hope you remember. Creditors turnover ratio ante మనం ఎంత అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ సేల్స్ వి బ్రాట్ ఆన్ క్రెడిట్, మనం అప్పుడే మనీ పే చేయకుండా ఏవైతే అప్పు తెచ్చుకున్నామో టువర్డ్స్ ద టోటల్ సేల్స్. ఇప్పుడు నా టోటల్ నేను క్రెడిట్ మీద తెచ్చుకున్న సేల్స్ 6 lakhs. That constitutes my credit sales. Ratio is net credits. Creditors turnover ratio is equals to credit purchases divided by average creditors. Credit purchases అంటే నేను ఎంత అమ్మినా, ఐ మీన్ అప్పు మీద ఎంత అమ్మినా అవతల వాళ్ళకి బయట వాళ్ళకి, that is called my credit purchases. For suppose see, be clear, be confident and clear with this topics. Don't mix and don't get confused. This is the first time we are doing the revision, so revise it 2-3 times until you get. Even after this video, pause the video here and wait for 2-3 minutes and revise everything, because these formulas, if you forget the formula, your problem will be gone. So please be sure with the formula and please be confident while revising the formulas. Here we have creditors turnover ratio. Creditors ante manam pay cheyali. నేను పర్చేస్ చేశాను కానీ మనీ పే చేయలేదు. ఐ హావ్ టు పే మనీ. సో నేను క్రెడిట్ మీద తెచ్చుకున్నాను, అప్పు చేసి గూడ్స్ తెచ్చుకున్నాను. ఫర్ సపోజ్ నేను 10,000 గూడ్స్ తెచ్చుకుంటే నేను 6 lakhs పే చేస్తాను అప్పటికప్పుడు ఆన్ డెలివరీ పేమెంట్ చేస్తాను. 4 lakhs క్రెడిట్ తీసుకున్నాను, తర్వాత ఇస్తాను, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ తో పే చేస్తానని చెప్పాను. దట్ ఈస్ మై క్రెడిట్ పర్చేసెస్. సో ఇన్ టోటల్ 10 lakhs my cash purchases which I paid on delivery of goods will be 6 lakhs, and credit purchases which I have to pay with interest is 4 lakhs. That is called my credit purchases. Same thing with the sales. నేను అమ్ముతున్నాను, ఐఎమ్ సెల్లింగ్ ఆన్ క్రెడిట్ అంటే వాళ్ళ ఫ్యూచర్ డేట్ ఒక 1 month 2 months తర్వాత ఇంట్రెస్ట్ తో కలిపి పే చేస్తారు. ఎట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ మేకింగ్ డెలివరీ దే ఆర్ నాట్ పేయింగ్ మీ. At the time of making delivery, if they are paying, that is called cash sales or cash purchases. At the time of delivery they are not paying, and afterwards, after 1 month or 2 months, they are paying with interest. That is called credit sales or credit purchases. So purchases ante creditors vastaru, debtors ante sales, manam sell chesina amount vastadi. So net credit sales divided by average trade creditors, average trade receivables or average debtors. If they give you 2 balance sheets and if they ask you to find out debtors turnover ratio, then take 2 amounts, find the average. Opening value you take, add closing value divided by 2. If there is only one balance sheet, take only the single amount, don't take the average. So average debtors is equals to opening plus closing divided by 2. అండ్ స్టాక్ టర్నోవర్ రేషియో. స్టాక్ టర్నోవర్ రేషియో అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు నా మంత్లీ సేల్స్ 10 lakhs అవుతే నేను స్టాక్ ఎంత పెట్టుకోవాలి? నా మంత్లీ సేల్స్ 10 lakhs అవ్వాలంటే నేను స్టాక్ ఒక 15 lakhs పెట్టుకోవాలి. That depends upon the manufacturing process, how much your goods takes, how much raw material they consume. That is called stock turnover ratio. And stock turnover ratio is equals to cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is తీసుకోవాలి. In case if they are not providing you the cost of goods sold and there is no gross profit in the question, amount of gross profit ఇవ్వలేదంటే అప్పుడు take the sales amount. For suppose I want to mention one point here. Cost of goods sold ante sales minus gross profit is equals to cost of goods sold. ఇప్పుడు క్వశ్చన్ లో వాళ్ళు అడుగుతారు క్యాల్కులేట్ స్టాక్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ రేషియో అని అడుగుతారు. సేల్స్ అమౌంట్ సపరేట్ ఇస్తారు, గ్రాస్ ప్రాఫిట్ అమౌంట్ సపరేట్ ఇస్తారు. Then you have to calculate first cost of goods sold and then you have to calculate average stock. If they don't give gross profit, they only give sales, then only in that case you take sales. If they give you sales and also gross profit, then find out cost of goods sold. First subtract sales minus gross profit, then you will get cost of goods sold. I think I'm clear with this. Once again, revise turnover ratios. Creditors turnover ratio is equals to credit purchases divided by average creditors. Debtors turnover ratio is equals to credit sales divided by average debtors. Debtors is credit sales, creditors is credit purchases, and stock turnover ratio is equals to cost of goods sold divided by average stock. Over. And then we have now creditors collection period, debtors collection period, and average stock holding period. క్రెడిటర్స్ కలెక్షన్ పీరియడ్ అంటే నేను తెచ్చుకున్నాను కదా ఇప్పుడు నేను 10 lakhs రా మెటీరియల్ పర్చేస్ చేస్తే 6 lakhs అప్పుడే పే చేసినాను, 4 lakhs తర్వాత పే చేస్తాను చెప్పినాను. ఆ 4 lakhs ఎన్ని డేస్ గ్యాప్ తో పే చేయాలి నేను? దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ క్రెడిటర్స్ కలెక్షన్ పీరియడ్. ఎన్ని గ్యాప్స్ తో పే చేస్తే నాకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ బర్డెన్ ఎక్కువ ఉండదు. ఫర్ క్యాల్కులేటింగ్ దట్ I need to calculate this ratio, creditors collection period. So how will I calculate? Take 365 days. Mostly we take 365 days only. If the question gives the figures in case of months, then take 12 months. If the question gives you information in terms of weeks, then take weeks. Any one you take. You can't take all the three at a time. So 365 days divided by creditors turnover ratio. And debtors collection period is equals to 365 days divided by debtors turnover ratio. And stock velocity or stock holding period is equals to 365 days divided by stock turnover ratio. Clear? If you want, pause the video here and revise once again all the formulas and then start revising the remaining formulas. Okay? And then a working capital turnover ratio. What is working capital? Working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ రేషియో అంటే మన వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ నుండి సేల్స్ కి ఎంత ఖర్చు అయింది, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ రేషియో. ఆల్వేస్ రిమెంబర్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ రిలేట్స్ టు ద ఫిగర్ ఆఫ్ సేల్స్. సో వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ రేషియో అంటే కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ గూడ్స్ సోల్డ్ ఆర్ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ సేల్స్ ఆర్ సేల్స్ డివైడెడ్ బై వర్కింగ్ క్యాపిటల్. అండ్ టోటల్ క్యాపిటల్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ రేషియో అంటే కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ సేల్స్ divided by cost of sales or sales divided by capital employed. And fixed asset turnover ratio ante cost of sales or sale divided by net fixed assets. And then we have return on capital employed. Return on capital employed ante nenu oka business lo invest chestuna దాని నుంచి నాకు రిటర్న్ ఎంత వస్తుంది. ఫర్ సపోజ్ దీపక్ హ్యాస్ అ బిజినెస్ అండ్ హీ ఈస్ ఎర్నింగ్ ప్రాఫిట్స్. I want to invest in his business. ఒకవేళ నేను ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే నాకు ఎంత లాభం ఉంటది, how should I know? So calculate this return on capital employed. Return on equity shareholder funds. Equity shareholder funds ante equity shareholders ante they are the owners. So owners ki ఎంత వస్తుంది అది ఎట్లా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తామంటే earnings after tax. This is earnings after tax minus preference dividends. Earnings after tax అంటే ట్యాక్స్ ఖర్చు తీసేసిన తర్వాత మైనస్ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ డివిడెండ్. ఫస్ట్ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ మనం ప్రిఫరెన్స్ డివిడెండ్స్ కి ఇస్తాం. ప్రిఫరెన్స్ డివిడెండ్ మిగిలిన తర్వాత ఏమైనా ఉంటే అది ఈక్విటీ షేర్ హోల్డర్స్ కి వస్తుంది. సో ఎర్నింగ్స్ ఆఫ్టర్ ట్యాక్స్ మైనస్ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ డివిడెండ్ డివైడెడ్ బై ఈక్విటీ షేర్ హోల్డర్ ఫండ్స్ ఇంటూ 100. అండ్ ఈక్విటీ షేర్ హోల్డర్ ఫండ్స్ అంటే ఈక్విటీ షేర్ క్యాపిటల్ ప్లస్ రిజర్వ్స్. Always remember, whenever they say equity share capital, you have to add reserves also. Why we should add reserves ante equity shareholder funds ante enti owners funds, right? So reserves ante na business nunchi entaithe profit vastundo I'm keeping it apart for the future use of my business. So నేను సంపాదించుకున్న ప్రాఫిట్ కూడా నాకే కదా సొంతం. సో ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ ద ఓనర్ ఆఫ్ ద కంపెనీ, నేను ఎంతైతే అమౌంట్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసినానో అది కూడా నాకే సొంతం. అండ్ ద ప్రాఫిట్ విచ్ ఐఎమ్ ఎర్నింగ్ త్రూ మై బిజినెస్ అది కూడా నాకే సొంతం. సో ఈక్విటీ షేర్ హోల్డర్ ఫండ్స్ అంటే ఈక్విటీ షేర్ క్యాపిటల్ ప్లస్ రిజర్వ్స్. అండ్ రిటర్న్ ఆన్ షేర్ హోల్డర్స్ ఫండ్స్. ఇదేంటి ఈక్విటీ షేర్ హోల్డర్ ఫండ్స్? దిస్ ఇస్ షేర్ హోల్డర్ ఫండ్స్ మీన్స్ ద టోటల్ షేర్ హోల్డర్స్, equity plus preference. So here we had only equity, that's why we subtracted preference dividend. Here we are taking all over together, that's why we are not subtracting preference dividend. So return on shareholders equity is equals to profit before tax or after tax. And mana question etla specify cheste మనం ఎట్లా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయమంటే అట్లా తీసుకోవాలి. If they ask us to find out return on shareholder funds based on profit after tax, then you have to consider profit after tax. It will be clearly mentioned in the question. Don't worry about that. Just remember the formula: profit before tax or after tax divided by shareholder funds into 100. And then we have, one second. Yes. Then we have earnings yield ratio and preference dividend coverage ratio. These are not much relevant. And this gross profit turnover, gross profit ratio means gross profit divided by net sales into 100. Means sales nundi mana gross profit percentage entano adi. And net profit ratio is equals to net profit before or after tax, that question will mention, divided by net sales into 100. I think we revised all the formulas and you are clear. Unless you are not clear with the formulas, don't start this problem solving. Please revise the formulas effectively and then start problem solving. And if possible, pause the video and revise all the formulas, because if you revise the formulas and you are perfect regarding the formulas, you can solve the questions very easily. Within minutes you can solve. If you're not perfect with the formulas, then problem solving will take time and it will be time consuming. Okay, now let us start problem solving. Chalo. See, here is a question. First, read the question carefully and understand the question. If you are reading question like in a confused state or in a nervous state, exam kabatti nervousness untadi, tension untadi. A tension tho motham question chadivite first question ardham kaadu. So first read the question and then start solving the problem. So first read the question. What is the question saying? You are supplied with the following information from the records of Sunshine Industries Limited for the year 31st March 2008. During the year, sales was 6 lakhs, gross profit is 1,20,000, net working capital is 1,44,000. Creditors as on 1st April 2007, which means opening creditors is 30,000. Creditors as on 31st March 2008 means closing creditors are 54,000. And debtors as on 1/4/2014 means opening debtors is 1,16,000, and debtors as on 31st March 2008 is a closing debtors. Closing debtors is 1 lakh, and the value of stock has remained the same at the beginning and end of the year. అంటే వాళ్ళు ఏమంటున్నారు, స్టాక్ రిమైన్ సేమ్ అంటే ఓపెనింగ్ స్టాక్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు క్లోజింగ్ స్టాక్, అంటే ఈక్వల్ గా మెయింటైన్ చేస్తున్నారు వాళ్ళు. And stock turnover ratio is equals to 5 times. Stock turnover ratio గుర్తుంది కదా, cost of goods sold divided by average stock into 100, that is 5 times. And you are required to calculate average stock purchases, average payment period, average collection period, creditors turnover ratio, debtors turnover ratio. Assume that all purchases and sales are on credit and year consists of 365 days. So how we are going to solve the problem, let us check out. Okay, let us start. And first we need to find out first. I hope the video is visible for you all. First, we need to find out average stock. What is the average stock? Average stock is equals to opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. నాకు క్వశ్చన్ లో ఇచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఎనీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రిగార్డింగ్ స్టాక్, స్టాక్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ అని అన్నారు. దాని తర్వాత స్టాక్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ రేషియో, స్టాక్ టర్న్ ఓవర్ రేషియో ఇస్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 5 times అన్నారు. Only this information I have regarding stock. So stock turnover ratio is equals to 5 times. And what is the stock turnover ratio? It is cost of goods sold. I am writing in short form. Please don't follow short forms in exams. They will cut your marks or else. Cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. Average inventory is equals to 5 times. Please don't mind regarding my handwriting and presentation. I have to record the video, so you all present it in a very good manner if you want to get good marks. So cost of goods sold is what? Sales minus gross profit. Gross profit divided by average inventory is equals to 5 times. And what is the sales? Sales they have given in the question 6 lakhs minus gross profit also they have given in the question. See, this is the sales and this is the gross profit. So gross profit is what? 1,20,000 divided by average inventory, which I have to find out, is equals to 5, which implies 6 lakhs minus 1,20,000 is what? 6 lakhs minus 1,20,000 is equals to 4,80,000 divided by average inventory. And for your kind note, for accounts exam, you can take your calculators. So don't worry about calculations. So average inventory is equals to 4,80,000 divided by 5, which implies average inventory is equals to 96,000. The question is here, why I have included this question means, please understand this point. It is very, very, very important. And all these questions were repeated in last year papers. And those questions which are most important and has important adjustments, only those I have included. And in this adjustment, what they asked us to find out average inventory. Average inventory means what? It is opening plus closing inventory divided by 2. And they said in the question that opening inventory and closing inventory are equal. Means they maintain stock on equal level basis. Opening and closing inventory will be equal. So if I add 96,000 opening inventory and plus 96,000 closing inventory divided by 2, then I will get the average inventory. 1 second. Then I will get the average inventory. So what will be the average inventory here? 96,000 plus 96,000 divided by 2, which means 96,000 only. Average inventory is equals to 96,000. Like this we have to calculate. Ante na opening stock 96,000 undi, closing stock 96,000 undi, divided by 2, then I'm getting 96,000. Ante na total inventory ఎంత ఉంది? 96,000 plus 96,000, which means my total inventory is 1,92,000. 1,92,000 ని యావరేజ్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు నాకు యావరేజ్ ఇన్వెంటరీ వస్తుంది 96,000. I hope you all understood. Don't get confused here. This is a most important point which you can get confused. So average inventory is 96,000. యావరేజ్ ఇన్వెంటరీ అంటే ఏం చేస్తారు? యావరేజ్ ఇన్వెంటరీ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలంటే ఇప్పుడు కొంతమంది ఏం చేస్తారు? 96,000 డివైడెడ్ బై 2, then I'm getting 48,000. This is not correct. This is not correct. You're finding out average first. So after finding average, you are getting the final answer. When you are dividing by 2, opening plus closing, you're dividing by 2, then you're getting